Hello everybody, today's read aloud is going to be the book Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. Now Patricia Polacco is not just the author of this story, but she is also the illustrator. That means that she wrote the story and she drew all the pictures for it as well. Let's go ahead and get started. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields, birds fly close to the ground, the clouds glow for an instant with a sharp crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in the panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before, but I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right. Looks like the storm coming to me." "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandma told me. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she said. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." Thunder cake? Don't pay attention to the old thunder except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand? She asked. We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be a real thunder cake. Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe," she said. "Ah, here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of paper. "Now let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried toward the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, and then the thunder roared. 10 miles! It's 10 miles away," Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful like," she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peck Hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. I just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, only to 9 I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. I only counted to 8. Baroom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly, the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3 to 7 I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3 to 6 this time. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. "I'm here, child," Grandma said softly from the doorway. "Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient." 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up the high trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. This time I only counted to 5. Kabang boom-a-room, the thunder growled. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3, and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it. We'll have a real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peck Hen. You got milk from old Kick Cow. You went through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all them things. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After that, the cake had to cool, and we frosted it. Just then the lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled and boomed and crashed and broomed just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma said. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on the top of our thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. So that is our read aloud for Thunder Cake, one of my favorite books growing up. I hope you all enjoyed it. Some questions to think about and talk about with your mom and dads are, what kind of home did the babushka live on? Did she live in the city or out in the country? And what kind of home did she have? What kind of animals did you all see in the story, and which animal was your favorite? I know my favorite was the cat. How about you? I can't wait to hear from you guys soon, and I'll see you later.